market day in the 9th month of the Igbo lunar calendar called Onwa Ana or Onwa Ane or Onwa Ala, depending on your dialect. In English language, it means the month of the land. And in the Roman Catholic calendar, today's date is October 8th, 2024. Thank you for joining me at Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University on this live lecture. Remember, at Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University, we always advise you to use your naturally given common sense, which we call Ako Nuche, to evaluate all the information you are getting on a daily basis before you make a decision. Also, we encourage you to know that this is an university. Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University is an university where you come and learn, where you think out of the box, where you see things from African and Biafran perspectives. That is, you see things from how they are affecting you, not how they are affecting other cultures. Also, we encourage you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Like our program and our lectures. Comment. Share the lectures to get to everyone in your family and friends, so that with the information you are seeing from the angle eye of a Biafran and an African, you can now reason out of the box and understand what is going on around the world and in your neighborhood. When you understand them, you'll be able to make a better decision. The title of today's lecture is The Rush for Local Government Elections by Governors in Nigeria and the Positive and Negative Consequences. The rush for local government elections by governors in Nigeria and the positive and negative consequences of the rush for elections. The governors are doing so not because they like to do it, but to continue to collect allocation meant for the local governments and also for godfatherism. The 1999 Constitution, the 1999 Federal Constitution, which is the constitution that the Nigerian government is using today, it created 3 tiers of government. That is 3 levels of governments. The first level is the federal, the state, and the local government structures. Remember, these are colonial structures. But that's what is in the 1999 Federal Constitution. And these 3 separate levels of government supposed to be getting their allocation. There should be allocation for the federal, allocation for the state, and allocation for local governments. Allocation means the money that is being shared. That's what allocation means. And so these 3 types of government are supposed to be getting their own money for developmental and other purposes to benefit the masses. So if the federal government money or funds, state government money and funds, and the local government monies and funds are all geared to the masses, that will bring tremendous improvement in the welfare of the people and also in infrastructure, rural developments, and other things. But it is shocking to know that between 2003 to 2013, that's why, between 2003 to 2013, that is in a space of 10 years, 25 states out of the 36 states are using caretaker committees. They are using local government caretaker committees, which means from 2003 to 2024, for more than about 21 years, many states in Nigeria have been using these local government caretaker committees, which means that there's no election, there's no elected people in the local government. Just like you have election for the presidency, the election for the state governors, you're supposed to be having an election for the local governments, but there have been none. Many states, they don't have it. What the state governors does is gather all this money for local governments and keep it in the states. That's why they become so powerful, so rich, and therefore denying the states of money for infrastructures like roads, railroad, hospitals, security, and other developments, and lack of care for the people, for the women, and for the elderly. That's what has been going on for many, 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 many years. And before we continue, we have to beg you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Like our program, comment, and share it to everybody. In fact, share, because the information we are presenting to you is what you need to know. Do you know why they are rushing to conduct local government elections now? The reason why the governors are rushing to conduct local government election now is that on July 11th, 2024, the Supreme Court made a landmark judgment affirming the autonomy of local government councils. The Supreme Court made a ruling that says that from 11th of July 2024, the local governments have to be autonomous. They have to be independent. All the money for local governments will now be going to local governments, no longer to the governors. That is why everybody is rushing to conduct local government election. Otherwise, they love the status quo where they were keeping all the money meant for the local governments in the state. And so, currently, many states have conducted their own local government election. Imo State, Anambra State, Benue State, Oyo State, Akwa Ibom, Rivers State have conducted, and others are coming. Because if you do not conduct local government election, you will not be getting any federal allocation in your local government. You will not be getting it. That's why they are rushing to conduct the local government election. Now, the local government elections so far conducted have shown some benefits, some positive. We have seen some positive outcomes. Some of the positive outcomes, like in Rivers State, where the police did not participate, and people discovered that now you can even conduct a free and fair election without the police. And INEC wasn't there. You know, INEC is independent electoral commission. the National Independent Electoral Commission was not the one that is conducting the election in the state. The state government, the state House of Assembly passed the law for the state to create their own electoral commission. It is the state electoral commission that are the ones that are conducting the election. So right now, the federal police was not there in Rivers State, and the federal INEC wasn't there. And guess what? The election was free and fair. That's a positive. Another positive outcome was the nonsense judicial rulings from the federal and from the state. Now it is clear to everybody that the federal judgment rulings doesn't have no effect on the state election. It doesn't have no effect. So state election belongs to the states. Local government elections belong to the states and not to federal. So that's why INEC was not there. That's why no federal judge can make any ruling that will have effect on the election being conducted by the states. Those are positives. The information is great. Those are the positive outcomes. Now, there are also negative outcomes. The first of the negative outcomes was the burning of local government secretariats in Rivers State. About 4 local governments were burned, including Obiako, local government, Eleme, and others. Why are you burning the secretariats? Is that the only way to show your anger that the election didn't favor you? By burning the secretaries and causing other mayhem in the state? Nkoloma hadn't feel that that's not the best way to react to anything, because the government properties is not for anybody, it's for everybody. It will also create the current electioneering system will also create more fatherisms. More fatherism in the sense that in each of the states where the state conducted the election, it was their party that won the majority of the seats. Like in Imo State, APC won majority of the seats. In Anambra, APGA. In Benue, APC. Even though the governor is a Catholic priest, he didn't mind that. In Oyo, PDP won almost everywhere. In Akwa Ibom, PDP, and in Rivers State also, APC, a new party supported by the governor, which means the governors decides the results in the states, which is not right. The elections so far conducted in the states, as mentioned in this lecture, in Imo, Anambra, Benue, Oyo, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, it doesn't show democracy. It shows that there is failure. That's another example of failure of this foreign imposed democracy in our land. How can you conduct an election and no opposition party won substantial seats in the council and local government chairmanship, and you are bold enough to come and be announcing such results to the world? That is wrong. So these are some of the negative outcomes from the local government elections so far conducted by some states in Nigeria. And Nkoloma is hoping that this trend is supposed to change. If the governors are having this type of power to impose their party members as chairmen and councillors of local governments, which means they are doing the same thing the federal is doing. Even the federal is better, because in the federal election, other parties are given chance to win. But in the case of the ones being conducted by the state governors, only their party members are pronounced winners of that election. Nkoloma think that that is wrong. Where are we going with this? Is this the type of democracy that you want? Where are we going to end up with this type of democratic practice? And that's why Nkola Mahadum have been suggesting that this foreign imposed democracy is not working in our land, that we should go back to the democracy left behind by our ancestors. The Igbo Republican, for example, the Igbo Republican democracy is still being practiced in my village today. This foreign imposed democracy has a lot of abuses. All these institutions imposed by the Europeans on us, including the police force. You see what the police did in Rivers State? They pulled their men out, hoping to frustrate that election. But the election held successfully. And now they pulled the police that we are guiding the secretaries. That's when the talks came in to start to burn the secretaries. Those are colonial institutions. It's not working in our land. And because we want to, making the lectures here short, because there's no time, the takeaway from today's lecture is for you to know that the rush by governors to conduct local government elections in Nigeria is because of the allocations they are collecting, they want to get from the federal government, not actually because they like it. And then godfatherism, they are putting their own men. The 1999 Federal Republic Constitution have three types of governments: the federal, the state, and the local government. But since 2003, local governments have been shut down using local government caretaker committees to run it, which led to diversion of funds. The fund of local governments were being controlled by the governors. That's why the governors became so powerful, denying the local government of the needed infrastructure, the roads, hospitals, security, taking care of our children, men, elderly, men and women, and other things they're supposed to be taking care of. They're not taking care of it. This appointed caretaker committee only receive enough money to pay salaries. But on July 11, 2024, the Supreme Court made a law that every state without conducting local government election will lose the allocation. That's why they are rushing to conduct this local government election that you see. And we have some takeaways. Like in Rivers State, there was no police, very positive development. And no INEC, the federal INEC wasn't there. And all the federal judgment was ineffective. And everything went on smoothly. But the negative side is that secretaries were being burnt. How can you be burning secretaries? They created more godfathers. Creating more godfathers. The governors become the godfather of all the local government chairmen they have selected to be the winners. Godfatherism is bad. Remember, Odele in Rivers State and Amechi were the godfathers of Wike, and Wike fathered Fubara. So all these people that are putting as local government chairman, being the godfather today, tomorrow, one or two of those local government chairmen will also rise up to be a godfather. That's not good. It's stifling opposition. Where is the opposition? Is that the type of democracy that you want? We should go back to the democracy of our forefathers. That is what Nkola Mahadum is recommending. Now, finally, we have to make sure that the corruption that the local government chairmen that were selected are not loyal to the governors. Because if they are, how can they be accountable to the people? Since they are not elected by the people, how can they be accountable to the people? This is the mess that we are in with this type of local government election, which is selection and imposition of people as winners by the governors to continue godfatherism. That should stop in our land. And with this, we will bring today's lecture to an end. Thank you very much for joining us today, and have a great day. Thank you.